My loves, we're back with a new episode, and this one is coming in as a request from Kiela, who was saying that she feels like she's at a place in her life where she can feel her kind of alignment happening and feel herself being prepared for what's coming, and for me to just kind of speak on that piece of the journey. And I can say this is a piece for me that has been pivotal in learning what this means and how this feels, because, for so much of my journey, for so long, I felt like something massive was coming. I always felt like I could feel myself being prepared and like something really big was on its way. And I was just each day kind of readying for whatever that was. And I think looking back now, from what I can tell in my personal journey, that feeling of bigness, that massiveness was just what was happening in that moment. I think I, for a long time, was kind of waiting to like find enlightenment or whatever I thought it was in various times of the journey, because it feels so big. It feels like something massive is going to happen. And it's going to take over you, and you're going to be able to like step out into the world and have your like Jesus moment to be able to be like, hey guys, I figured it out, And then people can see through you the truth of the massiveness of the light of God and of the divine, and that there will be some sort of tangible way for you to display or demonstrate the power of doing this work and the power of uncovering and unveiling your divine assignment. And I think it's both, right? To me, what I realized is the preparation is so much of the whole process, right? The process itself is the whole thing, like the journey, the process, the powering up, the alignment. Like what I would have told that version of myself was, this is it. Like the massiveness and the bigness that you feel in what you feel you're being prepared for is really just you catalyzing yourself into your most magnificent version so that you can just be a human in this world that needs magnificent humans. And this is not to diminish the bigness that you feel, because, literally there were moments where I'm like, what, tonight's meditation might be the night, where I reach enlightenment. This is going to be it. Because I could feel like so much preparation. I felt so ready, so clear, so prepared. I'd really been on my game and in my work. And of course, I had major, massive, like crazy meditations where I felt like I, became oneness with the light of the all, and where I really reached like ultimate nirvana, so to speak. But the thing is, you got to get up, right? And then you have to just be the human that's had that experience, and then trying to translate it in some way where you could tell other people like what's possible in the depths of themselves. But I think because all of this work and all of the light that you embody and illuminate as you clear the weight from your spirit, on one level speaks for itself, but on another level requires experientially others to understand it. In other words, they have to go through themselves to get to their own light. And so while it feels like, even on the days where I felt so magnetic, I've been deep in my work, maybe I haven't been around people, so I'm just in my own energy, and I'll go out, and even walking down the street, I feel the eyes and the heads turning, and I can tell it's my light. I can tell it's my energy. Even still, whether they are actually seeing my light or they don't even realize why they're being drawn to me, it's because they're just human. And so I think the level of understanding is that we are all absolutely just human, but also like human in your divine light. And I think that the journey then leads us towards the place where we are actually just content with being in our own bigness, in our fully illuminated light, without maybe having like a full-on Jesus moment or Beyonce moment. And plenty do, obviously. Like many people reach, have those like major peak experiences and peak moments, even when one person walks in your life and they end up being your wife or your husband, or one opportunity falls into your lap and suddenly you've kind of blown up. I hear people tell me all the time, like, I'm up next. And that's what I felt so much of my life, is like, I can tell I have a big mission. I really have taken on my assignment. I took it on at a very young age. In fact, I feel like my mom kind of bestowed it upon me because she could see it early on, and it was kind of curating me to be the person who I was here to become. And God bless her, like, what a gift to have a mother like that. But all in all, it was that I was here to become this human, right? And so what I had to learn, and where I would get humbled, is that, like, the absolutely multidimensional ethereal, like divine light that you can access and feel, and the bigness that you feel, and the alignments and the synchronicities and the magic and all of the ways that everything is panning out for you, is still you in your human path. Right? It's you as the spirit in your human journey, but we still have to be the human. And so I think the work then is to just relieve any pressure of there being like this amazing catalyzing moment where you become Jesus, and obviously Jesus became Jesus, so it's possible, and I don't want everyone to act like that's not possible. But I know for my journey, what I had to do was just come back down to my human. I would stay kind of in that 5D, and I could tell through my eyes when my light was really bright and people could receive it. But again, they don't even have context for that. They don't even know what they're attracted to. They don't even know what it is about me that they felt magnetic towards. And so there still has to be this kind of human journey that's happening, right? That's actually like the whole point, that we're in this human experience, having this spiritual divine revelation through our own humanity, is that the work is to be embodied, to be fully embodied. And so, to answer your question, Kiela, because I so understand that feeling of like feeling like you're being prepared, but that's like, I would offer you to just sit in that, enjoy that, because a lot of people never even get to experience that, like the experience of experientially, existentially developing and growing and magnifying so that you take up more space and you're bigger in your body and you feel like your full self and you've reached like new heights and tiers of personal excellence. And all of that, like as it happens kind of incrementally, it doesn't, you kind of at some point you're like, where's my Beyonce moment? And you look back and you realize like just how many Beyonce moments you've had in like the work of it, in the thick of it, in the dark nights of the soul, and in like the peaks experiences of just being like fully alive. So what I'm trying to say is like, instead of feeling like you're waiting for something, it's obviously always beneficial manifestation wise to have something you're excited and looking forward to. So if you want to put something out there of like, at least your kind of purpose, or stepping out more into your voice or your mission or whatever, you have kind of it as a vision for who you are becoming, that's amazing. But also make sure you're just enjoying the ride, like enjoy all the moments, enjoy the feeling of feeling like you're being aligned and being prepared, because it is in that you are actually becoming yourself. It's each moment where you get to even just connect with someone. You can tell they're peeping your magnetism, and you like, they don't have the context for it, so you can't quite give it to them like that, but you can feel it and just connect with them on a soul level without any words being shared. Like that to me is quite a moment, right? We have all these like really magical, magnificent moments that happen throughout our days on this path, and the ways that things line up and the synchronicities that happen, and the way that the magic is just absorbs you at certain times. Like that to me is so much of what we might consider externally like having these major moments, or like what we are being prepared for. We're really ultimately being prepared for the divine conversation that's always present. We're being prepared for the alignment that's always going to be lifting us into our highest version, so that no matter where we are, no matter who has context for us or not, we're shining bright. We're raising the average of humanity. We're cultivating the highest vibrational timeline for everybody to exist in, just in our presence alone. And so I think there is definitely a wave of us, and I'm sure any of you watching my videos that can even, hear this language are in this wave with me, that we're just here to like set the record straight energetically about who's really in power, right? And it's not like we're going to maybe not be the president of the United States, which I'm fine with, but we may not even be the Beyoncés of the world, but we are the ones who, when we're in our space, we hold the energy together. When we're in our space, we are the alchemists. We are the ones alchemizing and transmuting and clearing and setting the tone, setting the vibrational tempo of how we want our spaces to feel, and in according to our biggest truths. And so I want to give you that, because I know for so long I felt like I was waiting, and I would get frustrated and get disappointed because it never came. Like I never really felt like I had like this major moment where I was like, this is my moment. And maybe it's still coming, but for me, I've set that down. And in setting that down, there was so much freedom. I took a lot of pressure off of myself by just setting down that expectation that I needed to like externally be, acclaimed in some way, shape, or form, because the true acclaim is within you. The true acclaim is those moments where you merge with oneness and you just sitting back like, this is the most magical thing I've ever experienced in my whole life. And I don't even have the words to put it together. I couldn't even journal about this hardly, because there's not even the right context to do justice of what I'm feeling right now. Like that to me is the true like peak experiences. For me, they've truly happened like internally within, in meditation, in moments of stillness, when I'm by myself, when I'm just fully submerged in the magic that's always present. So, stay ready, obviously stay aligned, stay prepared, and know that, yes, there's always preparation to be happening. You are always aligning more and more and more with your highest self and your highest timeline, so that your two legs can carry you along your most excellent path. So there is absolutely that happening. But instead of thinking that someday it's just going to kind of click and you're going to become, it is the whole every day you are becoming. Every single day, like Kiela, for you to even recognize that you're in this space says that you've arrived. While you're still going and you never really arrive, it's the understanding and the integration of your realization that you are deep on your assignment that says, in a way, I've arrived. In a way, I've arrived. And you can take those moments in that time period of like sitting in that energy, because I think if we hyper focus on the healing and always doing the work, which again, I always have to check myself on, because I'm definitely one of them who's like a little too deep in my work at times, that I neglect even the external sometimes. Because again, though, I felt like that was where I needed to continue to prepare. And then once it's ready, right, and once I'm ready, it'll click and I'll have my moment. But when I came out of that, I was like, oh, okay, actually, I like myself as I am. And so if I just exist in this world as me, no matter where I am, and I try to figure out how to kind of turn that into my life's work, but I also am going to maintain the same energy, keep the same energy when I'm at the grocery store or with family or whatever it is, right? Because family is some of the biggest work. Family is some of the biggest, like, moments of excellence, when you can stand as your new self and recreate your whole family dynamic just by being you. Like, that's like a Beyonce moment to me. So I think the realization is that, of course, you'll have big major moments, and it'll come in so many various forms, and it'll feel like the highest reward, like the divine in your life just totally applauding you and clapping for you for all of the relentless time and energy that you put in on your path, for the moments where you weren't clapped for at all, or you're deep in your meditation, or you're deep in your dark nights of the soul, and you have to get yourself up and keep going in this world when your world just been blown up, and you have to kind of reconfigure how to even walk on your two legs and exist in your body. Like, all of that happens, side effects of ascension, so to speak. And also, you go out in the world and you just feel like the world is yours. You feel like the world is yours. And that to me is like the ultimate. That's the ultimate freedom. It's the ultimate abundance. It's the ultimate definition of the self. When you feel like I like myself, and I like how I move in the world. I like how people receive me. I like my message. I like what I'm about. I like, everything about my reality. And I know that that's a result of the work that I've put in. So there's a lot of self-clapping. I really encourage you to clap for yourself as often as you can, because nobody sits with you in the moments of stillness. Nobody sits with you in the depths of yourself. It's just you there, and the higher power who's always clapping for you through the alignment and everything else. But it's the grace of all of it. It's the grace and being of all of it. It's there's a movie, everything everywhere all at once, or something like that. And it's kind of a very silly movie, actually, but the premise is that we are collecting ourselves and fragments of ourselves from various dimensions where we are possible, or where we exist, and we're accumulating power from all of the different parallel versions of ourselves, past, present, and future. And so that the work then is to accumulate all of your energetic power and spiritual power to exist in your most excellent, most powerful self in this lifetime. And I'm like, yeah, I like that theme. That's like what I feel like I'm doing. And we all embody that in different ways. That comes forward in so many different ways. And we all shine our light in so many different ways. And we're going to be used as characters and role players in this divine play in whatever way that God sees fit, and according to your willingness and your steadiness in your preparation. So don't let me tell you that you're not going to be something absolutely magnificent. And also let yourself be something absolutely magnificent right here and right now. Because you even doing the work, you even having this conversation, you even seeing the alignment and feeling the magic and feeling your own magnificence is plenty. plenty. And because that doesn't get the applause, we think that that's must not be it's just as much it as anything else. You existing and going out to the grocery store in your full light, and people kind of like trying to, I'm seeing like the guy who's bagging my groceries, like hands are shaking, and I know exactly what's happening. I'm not going to say anything, obviously, but people respond viscerally to you when you're a big energy field, when you've cultivated your energy to speak for itself. People respond to you constantly. Some people do get mad at it. They don't like it. It's like uncomfortable for them because you're mirroring to them what they haven't done yet for themselves. Other people just don't even know how to navigate you. Other people see and feel you so completely that they're like, that's exactly what I want. That's who I want to be. That represents where I'm headed, right? And so let it be what you're looking forward to, but also where you are at right now. Because you're plenty right now. You in your work, you in your healing, you on your path, you in your divine assignment. That is more than enough, baby. So don't let the world try to act like you're not doing enough when somebody's asks you what you've been up to and you've been 21 days in a deep meditation and, collapsing all the timelines and activating all the highest ascension tactics and everything else. And you don't even have the words to tell them about that. So you've just been chilling, the world isn't going to understand. The world is not going to understand. And I don't believe that we in the wave that I'm talking about are here to be understood. I think we're here to bring new language, new context, new way of being, new way of doing things before we get to be understood. It may not even be in our lifetimes that it's fully understood what we've done and the way that we have reprogrammed the subconscious of the collective just in doing our own work and just in saying like, we're going to hold a mirror up to those who are not doing their work because they're the ones who are keeping the vibration low. And we're here to bust that open and bring new vibrational possibility to humanity. And we don't even know what that means. We don't even know what's possible. The higher you rise, we have like Jesus and Buddha and all these sort of ascended masters as like people who seem to have gotten it right. But, we're in modern times. This is 2023, baby. We don't know. Maybe we could fly. We don't know. So we're figuring it out and we're figuring it out together, but enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Sit in a little bit more. Enjoy your magnificence right now. If you need to get up and go outside and let people see you just to remember who you are, do that as often as you need to, because you need to kind of set up little tactics around you where you're going to be fully reminded of your power, because it doesn't feel as powerful when you come out of a meditation and you're like a little discombobulated and you're like, you've done this deep, deep work and, bombs have gone off and timelines have collapsed and tendencies have cleared and you feel like a whole new person and you don't even know how to tell your aunt that, right? So let the world receive you, let that be and feel like your why, and then keep pressing forward. Because no matter what, the more you show the divine, like I'm ready, I'm all in, I'm committed to this. And that's a conversation that only the two of you have, only the two of you know what you're really on, how you really spend your time, what your habits are really like, how you've cultivated and curated your reality to show up as yourself. Once you're really on that path, God's going to be like, okay, we're going to put, we're going to put the heavy hitters in now, whatever that looks like. That might just mean you in your power. It might just mean the revelation of you understanding who you actually are and what you're here to do, which is be to someone who takes up major space and who does things differently and collapses the matrix vibrationally and spiritually by living out a totally different timeline. That's what I'm on. I hope that's what you're on. I know if you're watching this video and you've made it this far, you're probably on it too. So give yourself a lot of grace, a lot of patience, a lot of clapping, a lot of applause, all the rewards. You're doing the work, man. You're doing the work. And that's enough. It really is enough. So I'm going to leave it right there. I love you guys so much. I'll see you soon.